Okay, welcome everyone to our September 30, 2025, 2 o'clock Commissioner Consent Agenda meeting. Let the record reflect that all 5 commissioners are present. We did not receive any comment for items that are on today's agenda, so we'll go ahead and stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So that will take us to our open public forum. And so I'll start the open public forum. We do have one person signed up. So Becky, if you'd like to come down.
Becky Dickerhoof, Spokane City. In early September 2025, the National Alliance to End Homelessness issued their State of Homelessness 2025 edition. There were 7 key takeaways from their findings. Homelessness counts are at a record high. Demand for homelessness services is on the rise. Resources are insufficient to meet demand. Homelessness is increasing among vulnerable groups, and demographic disparities persist. In May of this year, the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials reviewed the current administration's fiscal year 2026 skinny budget proposal. When comparing the 2 documents, the outlook for those facing housing insecurity is very dire. The nation's affordability crisis caused homelessness to increase by 18%. The demand for homelessness services increased by 12%. The researchers found the response system only had enough housing units to serve 16% of those in shelters. Families with children, disabilities, older adults, minorities, including people of color, indigenous, and gender expansive, are all experiencing higher levels of housing insecurity. The proposed budget for 2026 would eliminate funding and even eliminate many programs those with housing insecurity depend on, further increasing homelessness. Tenant-based rental assistance, public housing, project-based rental assistance, housing for the elderly, and housing for people with disabilities would receive a 43% cut in funding. The Community Development Block Grant would be eliminated. Home Investments Partnerships Program would be eliminated. Homeless Assistance Programs Consolidation would receive a 12% cut. The budget would consolidate the Continuum of Care program and the housing opportunities for persons with AIDS into the Emergency Solutions Grant program. A side effect of this consolidation would require a $1-to-1 dollar match for grants instead of the current 25% for CFC grants. Other CFC programs, permanent supportive housing, CFC planning funds, dedicated coordinated entry grants, dedicated grants for homeless management systems, HMIS, among other activities and functions would be eliminated. The result would be the elimination of the CFC. This is just a small portion of what could be damaged by the cuts to those experiencing housing insecurity. In Washington, these cuts would reduce the families served by 4,000 to over 6,000. As tariffs and inflation continue to cause the cost of living to rise and the ability to fund housing to drop, the homeless numbers will also rise. I'm here today to ask the county commissioners to enact what is commonly referred to as a 1590 tax. This ordinance, which amended RCW 82.14.530, allows the county legislative authority to impose a sales and use tax not to exceed 1/10% of the selling price in the case of a sales tax or value of the article used in case of a use tax. This will allow the county to create more homes for the unsheltered. At least 60% of that money must be used for the construction of housing and related services. The balance must be used for the operation, delivery, or services related to housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to testify at our open public forum? See no one else. Third and final call for anyone wishing to testify at our open public forum. Seeing no one, I'm going to close the open public forum. And then we will go to our proclamations. So I will look to my fellow commissioners.
Madam Chair, I would like to read this proclamation in the form of a motion. This is a matter of proclaiming October 2025 Domestic Violence Action Month in Spokane County. Whereas domestic violence is widespread and devastating to society as a whole because it is not confined to any age or group, but crosses all economic, racial, gender, educational, religious, and social barriers. And whereas Spokane County has close to 4,000 confirmed victims of reported domestic abuse every year, affecting approximately 1 in 3 women, 1 in 10 men, and with more than 2,000 children having been witness to or victims of domestic abuse-related crimes annually. And whereas law enforcement fields over 14,500 calls related to domestic abuse every year, resulting in 3,300 perpetrators being prosecuted annually, which accounts for 25% of all criminal cases. And whereas victims should have access to medical and legal services, counseling, emergency and transitional housing so that they can escape the cycle of abuse, and emergency responders, police, and the judiciary should have the training and resources necessary to enforce, prosecute, protect, and rehabilitate perpetrators of domestic abuse. And whereas we believe Spokane County can help reduce and ultimately end family violence through coordinated response efforts that are grounded in research, strengthened by education, and advanced through coalition building that raises awareness and promotes prevention. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Spokane County, Washington do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Action Month in Spokane County, and we encourage all citizens to actively work towards eliminating domestic violence within our communities, county, and Washington State, dated this 30th day of September 2025.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second for this proclamation. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. It passes unanimously. So Tappy Hunter is the Executive Director for the Spokane Regional Domestic Violence Coalition. So I'd like to have you come up and say a few words. And you handed out a little gift bag for everyone. So thank you for that. And then we will take a picture at the end.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Commissioners, for this proclamation recognizing Domestic Violence Awareness Month. On behalf of the Spokane Regional Domestic Violence Coalition, I am honored to accept it and to reaffirm our shared commitment to ending domestic violence in our region. At SRDVC, we believe that real change requires a coordinated, community-driven approach, and our work is grounded in 3 strategic areas: research, education, and coalition building. Through research, SRDVC is able to identify gaps, elevate survivor voices, and inform policy and practices with our data. Through education, we're able to equip professionals, businesses, and community members with the tools to recognize and respond in a trauma-informed manner to domestic violence. And through coalition building, we unite diverse partners from courts to community centers to create a coordinated, survivor-centered response. These priorities reflect our broader framework of prevention, culture change, and narrative shift. We are working to build a Spokane where survivors are believed, systems are accountable, and communities are safe. This proclamation is a powerful indication that Spokane is ready to lead with compassion, collaboration, and action. Thank you for standing with us and with survivors this Domestic Violence Action Month and every day.
Thank you. So I know you have some people here in the
I
audience
do.
too, if you want to introduce them.
So part of my team has come to join us today. I have Angela Svetzali, she's our grants coordinator, and Peyton, who is our community outreach and development coordinator, and then my son Christopher, who has never been to one of these meetings, so he's learning some civic responsibility today.
Well, very good. So if you would come up and we'll take a picture. So next, we do have an addition to our agenda that Solomon Gilbert, who is the Deputy Director for the Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs, is here and wants to present us with a certificate. So if you'd like to come up. Appreciate you coming all the way over from Olympia for this.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you so much for having me. And if I may, I have a few remarks that'll be quick, and I think on a time limit too. So
Oh,
in the
you're not on a time limit.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Solomon Gilbert. I'm the Deputy Director of your Washington Department of Veterans Affairs. So good afternoon, commissioners, community leaders, and guests here this afternoon. So thanks for having me here this afternoon to to honor the county and those that work in the space for veterans to make this all possible. Even though today is the last day of the month, September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So spam, not the type that you see in your inbox and want to get rid of, but we thought that would be a catchy phrase that'll help people recognize the importance of suicide prevention in our communities with that. With Spokane County having over 32,000 veterans, 6,500 military personnel, including active duty, National Guard, and reserve members, it is really a home for our veterans across the state. And through the work that we partner with the county and also my colleague here, Kat Nichols and team with Spokane County, we reach all veterans in the spaces. Statewide, the number is, stark, 74% suicide deaths among veterans due to firearms. And that's something that we try to work and get the word out to communities to help and, have people be aware of this. With our program, really quickly, is we connect veterans to mental health resources, peer support networks, crisis lines, intervention resources, virtual and in-person training opportunities, personalized care plans, and more. We work hand in hand with local partners, such as the county here, across the state to bring resources to veterans. No matter where they're at, we try to meet them where they are. A lot of things you probably see and know about, the resource kits on our website. We try to push that. And also the Lifeline, we'll have that when we take the picture. We have our license plate for that. But again, is in partnership with other state agencies as well, such as Department of Licensing, Department of Health, we're able to raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention, the 988 National Crisis Hotline, and address stigma of mental health. So we try to work in all of those areas. So with that, I want to turn to talk about Spokane County's leadership. So again, thank you all for the support that you have for veterans in the community, but a heartfelt thank you to Kat Nichols and Spokane County team for purchasing 200 suicide prevention emblems. And I believe that the county and cities, I know Liberty Lake, the county, have purchased those. That helps because we use those proceeds to go back for local grant opportunities for nonprofits to help veterans in their work. But Kat, your leadership sends a powerful message that Spokane County stands with its veterans and the values in every life. If just one person sees that emblems and reaches out for help, that's well worth it. And my call to action is let's continue to speak up, connect, and save lives. And together we can build a community where every service member, veteran, and their families feel seen, supported, and safe. And again, thank you for your partnership and commitment to this life-saving work. And with that, I would like to call Kat and team up to, I want to present them with a certificate of appreciation and to the county as well. And I'll read this shortly. On behalf of your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs, thank you for helping increase awareness of the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline and bringing hope to communities across our state. It is because of the commitment of individuals, partner organizations, and communities like yours that Washington State is recognized for serving those who serve. Signed, Director David Puente Jr. and myself, Solomon Gilbert, well.
Let you guys, and then if you guys want to come up and we'll get
Yep, we'll
get a
jump
photo all
into it.
together. Okay, before everyone takes off, Commissioner French would like to say something.
Yeah, I deeply appreciate the recognition that Kat and the team have received. As a Marine Corps veteran myself, I consider Kat and her team the gold standard for veteran services, and just so appreciate not only the work that you do and your team members do, but the recognition that you've brought to the program and to Spokane County. So thank you so much. I know that you're passionate about this, and your passion resonates through the whole program, so thank you.
Okay. So that takes us to the rest of our agenda, and I will look to my fellow commissioners.
Madam Chair, I move to approve items 4 and 5, including all sub-items on today's agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That takes us to the end of our printed agenda. Mr. Simmons or Mr. Folsom?
We have one closed session item for the commissioners for labor negotiations.
Okay. Thank you. So with that then,
Matt's got more.
Commissioner French, would you say who you'd like in attendance? We have one short 5-minute executive session item.
Yes.
regarding,
Pending and potential litigation, no action.
thank you.
Thank you. And for those present, would include all of the board members, obviously, Matt Folsom, Scott Simmons, and Dan Catt. I'm going to assume
Dan
Dan
Gatt.
Gatt, the guy in the purple shirt.
He's going way back on attorneys.
Yeah.
Dan Gadd and Devin Kurta.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so then we will go into executive session for 5 minutes for the item just presented. At the end of that executive session, we will then go into a closed session and we will adjourn for the day after that. So thank you all very much for being here.